All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, September 5th, 2024. It is Thursday, one more day until the end of the week. We're going to go ahead and get everything started here. We started a bit early, got ahead of time, just to get some awareness of what's going on.
Market open.
Let's go ahead and get that going. And make sure price squawk is off.
Welcome.
Okay, cool. You see, we already got some passives going on. Volume is fairly decent at 250,000 so far, about 200,000 at the 6 a.m. mark. About half of that on the NASDAQ. Cool. All right. So before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just go through our typical process. I did miss being here yesterday and looking forward to staying aligned and yeah, just staying vocal. But okay, so from a quick glance, is this considered bullish or bearish? It's considered weak or strong. We're coming from the narrative standpoint that this is bullish on a higher time frame. And as we mentioned in our homework last night, bears ended up initiating a leg lower. We had our pullback, and as of right now, this looks like a clear defense. So the bears would be resuming intermediate control under the 5600 level. We have a whole lot of supply above us. A lot of passive buyers who've been eating up this negative sell delta as we've been talking about for the longest. So again, this is very much bullish on the higher time frame, but very, very weak, especially for the NASDAQ on the intermediate time frame as another lower high as well. But instead of them being near their 2-week balance zone, they're well below, close under with volume on an engulfing candle, and now we're balancing lower yesterday on high volume and continuing to consolidate in the overnight. So very much of a heavy bear flag. So just from a quick glance, this appears to be just continuation of being weak. We'll need more information. Let's look at the catalyst for the day and go ahead and get our awareness up. All right. So the quote that we have here today from Ellen Glasgow: "What happens is not as important as how you react to it." Quick glance at the earnings, not too much to talk about. A reminder of the sector tracker. We had about a balanced day. We want to see how everybody responds. Really, this doesn't really tell us too much. Again, yesterday was just a high volume compression day. We already had some data come out for the 515 and the 530s. The ADP normally comes out on a Wednesday, but since Labor Day was on Monday, this is coming out today instead of Wednesday. So 515, 530, and then we have our 645s and our 7 a.m. for the ISM and the PMI respectively. So something to be on the lookout of. And speaking of the data, notice we have a bit of a candle here. This is 17 points in itself. So we're having some reactions. We're having some reactions for sure. And the 515 is right here. All this has been encapsulated. So we're just going to focus on this one right now. This isn't massive by any means, but it gives us something to work with. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and do our overnight zones. Fairly simple today. We have one below us. And essentially one more above us, which is really just the overnight high from the 5540s or so. Yeah, 5540. And to the 5537. To the downside is 5515. So one above, one is below. And if we do break out of this range, look how tight this is. Oops. It's on the S&P 500. We had our Monday session, high to low. Tuesday session, high to low. Bear flagging. Bear flagging for the overnight. We looked above, tried to get above this area and failed. Stuck right back into this range. So we would imagine this is going to be a look above and a fail. So without being too speculative, if we do break this zone, we want to see there's going to be like a lower high somewhere within this range. This is the 5560s. And let's turn on our drawings. So we don't have any references for that. We totally should. But we'll come to that in a moment. But okay, I just wanted to get some ideas out. And I also put the drawings on the wrong chart, on my wrong chart, but this was basically for the dailies. Just bear with me. That taking off yesterday was a bit heavy for me. But again, we're not going to go too much into it, but basically from yesterday, we had our continuation of Delta to the downside with higher volume. So again, we'd imagine we're going to see some kind of move from this area without being too speculative. Yeah, there's possibility that we may see a move from there. We have singles above us on the NASDAQ at the 19,120s, but we are 200 points away from there. And then below us, we just really have thin space. The buyers definitely want to control this zone that we have down here, which is the 560s. Which is a high volume node from the beginning of August. Down there, it's extremely thin. So the buyers for the NASDAQ really want to stay above. Honestly, just retain these lows. And it's really only 60 points, 60, 70 points, which is at like the 820s. So yeah, this isn't really pretty for the NASDAQ. We can get a little better idea on the daily candles. Yeah, these 620s, this is what we're looking at. So this is like last line of defense before it starts getting ugly and very emotional. Bullish on a higher time frame, weak on the intermediate. On a daily, the momentum is with the sell side, with the VIX increasing as well, and we are seeing a continuation with the overnight sessions. Even the reactions to data are being somewhat thwarted within the range that we have. Just to give the same respect we did to NQ, we'll look at the S&P 500. Again, this was yesterday. The B-shaped profile. We have singles below us. Protecting these 5500s will be key. For the S&P 500 because we break this low. We have singles through here, and that can take us to the prior contract, which is just a bad look. The premium for the past contract. So from the start of these singles, which is at 55.08 essentially, '06 actually, they break those. That can easily be a 10, 15 point drop. And then yeah, same thinner structure below. So just they're just kind of hanging on the edge for the buyers. This is favorable position for the sellers. The sellers want to control the area that we were looking at before, but we're going to look at that on a different chart. So we're not getting ourselves crossed up. So that's the zone there for the NASDAQ. We have about 5 minutes until market opens. We'll make sure that we have our timer. We'll take a quick break, get settled. Do some nice little breathing exercises. Man, I really feel like I'm gonna do these zones and they're just gonna like blow through them, which is information. So don't get me wrong. All right. Okay, I do have that marked up as a zone. Cool. We need to make sure that we pay attention to our areas of interest that we have drawn. Is going to be helpful for in case there's any like spring, real sporadic price action. We'll be able to follow along without having to continually refer to some kind of map. And I know we still need to look at the quote board. All right, quick look at the 138-minute candle. We got about 3 minutes to the market opens. So you can see everything we talked about just from a daily from a little over 2 hour candle perspective. This compression here. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and pull up the cool board. See what we looked like before. Tech leading to the downside. Tech leading to the downside. We have Microsoft. So yeah, the leaders are the chips. And again, do remember we have Broadcom earnings today. So we want to see how everybody is responding. Financials are doing really well today. We're starting with a gap up. Utilities, industrial doesn't appear to be open yet. Communications, discretionary. Yeah, discretionary is going to be key. If Nvidia is going to be down, we're really going to need Tesla and Amazon to step up. They can kind of fight back today. It may be a little whippy, but I think it's important to see how the sectors respond today. And if we have weakness from Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, and some of these others really need to step up. Do not sleep on Broadcom as well. they're weighed pretty heavily. And again, they do have earnings today. All right, so we have another minute. I'm gonna go ahead and get my timer ready. Do a quick test. So we already have an idea of what the sectors are doing getting overnight. Now we need to see how we respond. We could get a big move and a push away from a particular price, but we don't know. I know I'm missing a few items from our report, but I believe we've done a good job. We know what prices that we're looking at. Really, bulls do not want to get below the 5506 or the 5490s. It can get pretty bad. And essentially these 800s for the NASDAQ. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right. Hopefully I got it. I wasn't looking. Okay, cool. So we don't have price walk on. So we actually did for the ES yesterday. We're gonna do S&P 500 again, so it may be a little slower. But yeah, we're gonna listen to the S&P 500. And again, these are just the market orders coming in. Passive sellers here, really holding the fort. We're getting ready to burst through this SOC zone, which has not been done since. I don't really have specific plays for this, but I mean, as of right now, it looks like just a small test under. I really want to see if they can burst through, break this overnight zone, coil,
block buy, block sell,
wiggle around up here and find their way here. Maybe try to push a little bit, come back into this range for a potential like pullback.
Block
but again, they have so much to go against. So again, this is really speculative. So let's just allow price to move. And I'm going to review my notes and see if there's anything else we can do to stay aligned, stay focused right now. So I'm going to go on mute. NQ is trying to catch some steam. Let's take a quick look and see where they may be coming from. Damn, what a opening for NVIDIA. Just nice to be up, a little over %. They can move extremely quickly. We saw the same thing, some nice push up from Broadcom. So these chips are really stepping in. Everyone else is taking a break. This is technology coming out the gates a little strong. They're actually leading alongside communications. And we do want to keep an eye on discretionary. It's going to be Amazon and Tesla. And a few other people. Let me not disrespect. But okay. Going back on mute. All if I had to give this a level again, I'm looking at a few different spots on my screen at the moment. But from what I can tell, this is about a. Oh, this is on a 30-minute. My bad. I'm glad I caught that. But yeah, I get it's probably like a +1.5, +2 for NQ. But that's gonna go down if they're not able to hold this. It's only been 4 minutes, but you can see that on the timer. Again, tech came out the gate strong. That's not the case for S&P 500, which they had a better posture initially. But again, this is just all weakness, just across the board, to make sure we just don't forget how. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have to look. Hold on. I think I need to just reload it from here. I just want to make sure that my charts are right. Okay, cool. So I'm really cool that I was able to do. I really feel nice that I was able to do that. I think that was cool. I was able to have an issue, you know exactly how to fix it, the best route, and not disrupt the stream, the recording that we have going on right now. So again, still +2 here, plus like 1.5. But okay. Appear to be a little light on volume. Again, do remember that we have the BMIs coming in 6 minutes for the subscribers, and then 9 minutes for everyone else. And then we have the ISM services at 7 o'clock. But as of right now, we are seeing an open drive for the NASDAQ. We're driving from price. Do remember that we tick these lows, hit these lows by a point or two, if that. And now held price above. And as we opened from the RTH, we are driving our way out of here. So if we do drive our way out, are we going to hit our head? Where do we stop? If we're going to see this type of action, if we're going to see this sort of like behavior, this +2 on the dime, trying to turn to +2.5, pushing people out, stopping people out. After we stop people out, is that going to stay? You know what I mean? This is the start of a 1 minute candle. So you know what I mean? Yeah, like push exactly like this.
Block
so they're going to drive out of this location. It's just important to see where we go, and if it does stop, where does it stop? You know, does it stop with these singles? If we do get up here to these 120s above this 100, we want to see that same behavior, that same kind of energy. So we're not looking at buying, we're not looking at selling or anything like that, but just want to make sure that we're being fair across the board. So again, we are bullish on the higher time frame. We are a bit bearish and weak on the intermediate. For the dailies, favor and the momentum is on the sell side. For the overnight session, this would be considered weak, as we're still consolidating in this bear flag. However, for the RT8 so far, we are thrusting our way out of here. Not as much for the S&P 500. We're still in yesterday's IB mid. And then looking at NQ, much more erect. We're now trading at our prior IB high. So again, if we're thrusting from out of this
Block
price,
buy.
not breaking this low from the bottom of this range, this may be our range that we see here. So are we gonna see trading like this,
Block buy.
or are we gonna break above this range? Maybe find our support here
Block buy.
and find some kind of continuation. We don't know. Alright, so that's the overnight highs for both. A clear push out. We're both out of our SOC zones. I wasn't looking at the DOM exactly, but I would imagine we're at a good +3 now, or at least a +2.5. And we're still at like +2 here. ES is getting kind of carried right now by technology, who was the weaker one in the first place. So yeah, this is why we were saying. So again, we want to see if this is going to be consistent. So notice that was at the end of the candle. So if we look at this on a 1 minute, I want to see what this looks like. Possibly like a little rejection here. I have no interest in trading this at the moment. I want to wait for a little more data. But this was a big deal for the S&P 500. We're just gonna keep this on a 1 minute candle actually. So again, we did take our overnight highs, and as soon as we go through, we are finding our way right back into the range. So again, it's important to make sure we're staying aligned. This is still very much in a bear flag. We're just testing more of this top portion of the range. So again, just so we have some clear indications of where we are. If we look at this on the market profile, we'll go ahead and hide these drawings so we can just see. So yeah, I'm just testing towards the top part of this range. We ended up getting into this low volume node here, and it seems that we seem to have reject those prices, but we're starting to crawl back up now. Not too much. I'm gonna take a quick break. PMIs should have just came out, I believe. Yeah, is still flirting with this range, this SOC high. So if we're using that as part of our narrative, this is a bearish sign for the S&P 500. But again, don't be mistaken. ES and NQ likes to do that dance, where one is weaker than the other, and then they switch, and it's real subtle. Good morning. What do you need from in there? Did you look on the tablet to see the weather yourself? Okay. All right. Well, if you need that, you can also come talk with me as well. So if that's something you like to do, you let me know. I don't see a reason you can't. Okay. Sorry about that. So we are still on a 1 minute for the NQ. So let me go ahead and clean this up. All right. So these other PMIs are going to be coming out in about 40 seconds. All right. Let's see. I'm going to turn this on. Shouldn't be too loud. So again, we're still at the top part of this range here. We've tested some of this upside. We didn't really see too much continuation. All right, we got 7 seconds.
Block buy.
Okay. "31 minutes in." Okay. I'm not sure what to think about this. But yeah. Yeah, it looks like we're just not trading at these overnight highs. All right, that's the minute candle there. I'm just pulling up my other chart on the 1 minute. Yeah, I would have missed it. Not missed it, but yeah, I just wasn't prepared. All right, no worries. Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like that was maybe just like a data stop run because yeah, we're not really seeing much continuation, and they're kind of struggling here at this point. But Tech is kind of leading them out the gate. I mean, Tech is doing fine though. I mean, yeah, this seems fairly solid. Just looking at the equities as of right now, equities are trying to hold up, but the price action just feels a bit weak. This one is definitely hard to tell. We still have 7 a.m. data coming. And Q really wants to watch out. It's a lot of thin structure here. They break these 83s. Okay. That was cool. That was cool. I just took a small scalp there, that little stop run. Those 83s that I was talking about, I would just have my stop there. Got a little bit with that mid, and then just got out super quick. Thought that was cool. All right, we're gonna lock our account again. And again, that was just a specific order flow setup. All right. So I mean, ES tested they're open, and they seem to be bouncing off. If we're sticking with the theory that this is or if we're sticking with the what's being told that this is a open drive, I mean, we are not staying under this midpoint for technology. So I mean, this is somewhat validating that theory. This is gonna be a open drive, and if this is gonna be the case, we want to see if the B bracket is gonna be able to withstand this top this top half of this SOC range. You looking for something? All right, turn this up a little bit. All right, we're still seeing that weakness, and again, this is coming from industrials, finance, healthcare, discretionary. Discretionary is holding up, but it's not enough. They need more help from some of the other players. It seems like this is the rest of the market that's bringing tech down at the moment. But tech can put the market on its back. Don't get me wrong. All right, we're gonna go back to our notes. Ah, VWAP, which we can see here too. Got all the buy delta up here. Let's see if they're gonna add. We're gonna have more buyers, or if this is considered expensive, if people want to sell it. Market may be backing off a little bit. It's not a good look for the S&P 500. It's maybe a situation where tech takes a break soon, and some of these other sectors are going to pick up. But if they're just going to stay coasting down like this is not good. Look at the difference: 138-minute candle here versus here. Has NQ found the buyers? There's a whole lot of compression going on here, and again, do remember this is all with a lot of sell delta. A lot of sellers are in here. Very high volume. Not very high, but above average. Kind of high volume, relatively speaking, that is. But again, we do want to have the respect to the Bears, because this is their storyline as of right now, as they've been in control and on the intermediate and restraining the buyers from getting any kind of upside, closing under the daily ranges of a 2-week balance with high volume, and we're consolidating underwards. So I mean, we're gonna have some pushback from the buyers. They're not gonna let this go lightly. They're not gonna just go easily. There's definitely gonna be a fight as we're bullish on the higher time frame, highest time frame rather. I need to step away for a brief moment. All right, sorry about that. So they pushed high, they came back down and fought their way back up and closed the last minute. Now we're pushing a bit higher. So we're already trading almost into these 100s. We're starting to get a squeeze. Again, we have data coming out in 3 minutes. I don't think we pushed that high for ES, right? No. So where may price be headed? If we do break back above these 48s, this has just put us in a range here. This is gonna be better to look at the market profile. I feel like we're missing a spot on our market profile, which admittedly I haven't done too much updates. Cause yeah, this is really the next spot that they're headed to. So we'll go ahead and we'll throw that boy for you. Turn that yellow for now. I don't plan on saving that. They already have some targets here for the NASDAQ. Those 100s. Those 100s. And then those singles at the 120s. So if we are going to keep pushing, especially for this ISM, we want to see how everyone responds. We'll go ahead and do the quote board just to get an idea of where we're at. Hopefully we can get it really quickly. No changes. Cool. And this is at the 59, so we'll see how everybody's responding after the ISM. And then quick reference, we are still between the prior mid and prior IB high for ES, and we are pushing above IB high for NQ. The 115 is a prior HOD. That's 115. So we want to see if they get past the 115.
Block sell. Block buy. Block buy. Block buy.
Okay. And again, this is the S&P 500 we're listening to. Making a push back to those highs.
Block sell.
Nothing really on the order flow. We do have some icebergs that are in here. No passives that are sticking out. Another 10 seconds. That was a nice push, rejection, and a nice comeback. All right, 2 minutes.
Block buy.
We're at the 50s. We're at the 100s. Got some passives, icebergs in here. There's a lot of volume. If they burst through here, that's not going to look good. Not going to look good on the sellers. They're really going to hold them within this range. NQ is looking at these 100s. Those singles are fairly close, and then that high is 115.
Block buy.
All right, we may be slowing down a little bit. We're seeing some selling, but we want to see if the buyers are going to hold. We got some icebergs in here trying to hold it up as well. They have these stops that is going to be above here in these ranges. So if we do shoot up a little bit more, you should see some spraying. Bulls are given an opportunity, and they're trying to push it.
Block sell.
Three more seconds. There's a lot of passives going on up here. Where are we at on a daily? Yeah, we're really close to hitting those highs. The prior high for ES is a 64. But yeah, this is a nice push from their IB high. We're gonna see if that's gonna hold. NQ may have got a little bit of those singles. No, they fell short again. Just above that IB high. We're looking at that HOD. NQ's volume point of control is at these highs now. So yeah, you have some passives really really coming in strong, trying to hold price up. Price is gonna have to move eventually. Okay. Some resiliency from the buyers. It's a good +2 on both sides. Excuse me. It's a good +2 for the ES and the NQ. Not only are they pushing up, they're getting rejected and they're finding their way closing the closing the candle with strength, even when they're facing some opposition. They're gonna want to break these highs. Beginning, that little switch may have already happened here. Yes, maybe a little bit of the stronger side, but we'll see here. You got some people pushing. You should see a spray from here. Again, NQ has these singles above. All right, they're starting to pull. They're headed towards this high at the same time. One minute.
Block buy.
Okay, this is just the start of this 1 minute candle. They've been selling off like this. We want to see. Oof, need some water. They want to see if they're going to be able to withstand that. Then even if this does finish red, you want to see how this next 3 minute candle finishes, because again, the buyers have been doing a solid job of being resilient, so they really want to keep their +2 advantage at this moment. Still, the favor is still to the sell side on the intermediate, the daily, and the overnight, but the RT8 session is well within the bulls control. 4 seconds. It's a pretty bad red candle here. On the 1 minute, that is. So you may see some people kind of liquidate these breakout traders, possibly. But they may be retail. We want to see who's supporting the price. We haven't seen any like real big passive players come in yet. Or at least not in the form of icebergs. I mean, they're holding above this 5 smoothing average. I mean, yeah, bulls are trying.
Block sell.
But no progress. So it's going to be the second 5 minute candle of this bracket. We'll see what these people are looking at. What does this look like on that 5 minute? Okay. Just lots of buy delta. Just some two-way trading going on right here as we negotiate these prices. ES has a lot of candles to give up. Not so much for the NQ. Bottom of that candle is at the 40s for ES. So again, bulls had the advantageous posture for the RTH. It's only been 40 minutes, so say what you want about that. The bears have the case for the pass. I mean, for the intermediate trend, however you want to look at that. The bulls on the highest time frame, so we're trying to see a little bit of wishy-washy trader above these highs. I think we're both kind of surprised, both sides. So we'll see here.
Block buy. Block sell.
Okay, NQ gave up their candle. ES is... It's not the 40s, I lied to you. It's 30, 38 half.
Block sell.
Some resilience from the buyers, sitting at that VWAP. They just gave it up. So you're gonna see possibly some liquidation here. Let me turn this down a wee bit. Alright, I'll be right back.
Block buy. Block cell. Block cell. Block by.
All right, my bad. I'm trying to make up my bed and some other things. But yeah, so basically, from what I'm seeing, we just had a fall below the 5 smoothing average for both products. We got close to testing the SOC high for the S&P 500. You can see the difference with the strength on tech versus ES. We got towards those mid 50s, not quite the 60s yet, and not quite to those singles for the NQ. Which if it's gonna be another failure, I think that's a pretty bad look, especially the more time that we coil below. So again, we don't know what we don't know yet. We'll learn more as price goes by. But bulls are definitely still in control on the NQ. Not so much for the S&P 500. But you still have to respect the higher highs and the higher lows. and they're literally at the IB high for both. But just make sure that we just have a little context of where we are. That was a look above prior IB high attempt for the HOD, and then a collapse. But we're balancing between this prior IB mid, which is right back in the middle, which was in the middle of this range here from the overnight session. So that's going to be that pullback that we were talking about a little earlier in the session. We got 10 more minutes for the end of this bracket. Looks like we may have another recovery. This is what we were saying earlier. Some resiliency from the buyers just in general. Whether it was impulses or just the impulses or, I mean, really just the whole move lower, just in general. Alright, and it's a little bit of the selling and then the continuation. Whatever they have to offer, whatever they have to sell is being taken, and they're buying up all the cheaper prices as well. So again, I think they're still at a solid +2 for ES. +2.5 maybe for the NQ. Or maybe just +2.5 for both, just given the way that they're responding to some of these little sell legs. Still sitting here at these 50s. I mean, you got people trying to buy for sure. You just got some passive sitting on both sides. Again, buyers really aren't letting price drop. I mean, got some heavy hitting into the. They're taking those offers. They're lifting the offers.
Block buy.
Yeah. NQ's getting ready to hit those. Get back into those singles. So that's why we're seeing it so thin. All right, it's gonna be the 5-minute candle here. Pretty aggressive.
Block by. Block by.
Another 5 seconds. Yeah, those passes on both sides for ES.
Block by.
Alright, appears we're just doing this slow grind mode thing, which is also indicative of a bull case. If it's no pain or no urgency. And Q ended up hitting that zone. Okay, we're gonna see if this is gonna be eaten up, because that's what's been happening, or if we're gonna see just a continuation, because this is the last minute of the 30-minute candle. So if the bulls are gonna send a bat signal to other buyers, now is that time. Or if we're just gonna see just more balance. 20 seconds. 3 seconds. Okay. We're still above the IB. Still above the IB high. Fairly decent excursion for the bulls.
Block buy.
Still really positive on the buyer delta. Was max 11K. We'll see how that holds. Max 2K for the NQ. These ranges are starting to get a little wider. Let's take a look where we were before that ISM. So just up 30 and 20 basis points for the NQ and then the ES. Everyone has been holding fairly well. Only downside has been healthcare and utilities. VIX has gone down 2%. Okay. Well, that's that. So regardless of how this looks, everyone is doing pretty well post ISM. So just take everything into perspective. VPOC at these highs, near the highs rather. And this is RTH, by the way. RTH
Block
VPOC.
sell.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get some notes going. And another leg down. So imagine we're gonna pull back about to that IB high, which is the 42s and the 62s for NQ. Bear bar turn bullish, possibly. It's first 5-minute candle of the bracket. What is price trying to do? Mhm. And then just a note, we're not really seeing like a lot of volume on our way down. So, we don't know if that's just like a bid pull and it's like a rug pull situation from the buyers trying to buy at lower prices. So, I mean, that's a little bit of selling right there, but I mean, that was just like algorithmic. Like someone just like mashing a button, but just the way it flowed seemed like an algorithm, non-human. So yeah, this action is a little weird to tell. We're still kind of just sitting here. Okay, I'm going back 2 minutes. Still light-ish. Still light-ish. Seeing it starting to creep up a little bit more. Possibly another situation where a bear candle turns bullish, but we have 30 seconds left in this candle, so we'll see where that leads us.
Block by.
Eight seconds. Okay. So we're flirting with our IB high for the yes. Bullish candle staying bullish.
Block sell.
Still a fairly nice close on the 1 minute. Okay. I'm gonna put this on mute. And we can see what's happening. We're just starting to drift a little lower. We don't know if that's going to be sustained or not. Again, we are bull flagging for the most part. Possible trend up day. We're not staying below the 5 smoothing average for too long. Most we got was 2 candles a while ago. So far, this may be the second candle, so we'll see how long this lasts. We'll believe it when we see it. We're seeing a little more volume on our way down here. It's a little more slower and gradual. That's why you're seeing the volume increasing. And that was towards the end of that minute and the 15-minute candle. So that was a nice sign on the other portion for the sell side. Yeah, so that's the bad signal that I was talking about. Could be damn algorithms, could be people, discretionary, like, oh, I don't like this. Who knows? That swing low is at 34.75 for ES and 19,023 for the for the Nasdaq. So just where the last low was here and here. Do remember we have this SOC zone, which we are clearly getting close to. And damn, Damn, let me finish my sentence, Price. Shit. Alright, remember we were down here a while ago, so we're gonna see if there's gonna be another solid response. But again, the more we beat on this, the more we beat on these areas, the weaker they're gonna become. NQ did a nice job. I think that was a higher low. Yeah, higher low for NQ.
Block cell.
New minute candle. Same thing from the ISM. Now from that point, we're now testing this downside with NVIDIA leading the way down with Eli Lilly, and all sectors pretty much took a pullback.
Block cell.
We're now at this open price. And again, just for some more context of where we are. We are at the top part of this consolidation for the NASDAQ, who's been a little stronger. And we are back in the literal middle of the range for the NQ for the overnight session and this bear flag consolidation that we've been seeing.
Block cell.
So we've gone down negative 7,000 delta or 5,000 delta since we've looked. Looks like ES is trying to protect these lows. If this is still going to be a +2 or at least a +1, you want to see how the buyers respond here in this situation. Interesting looking candle shapes. We'll throw these on the 30s. Alright, I ended up getting flat. Just given how strong NQ is holding. And there was no aggressiveness to hit these lows, which kind of started sliding a little bit. So we'll see. But we thought it'd be better just to kind of get flat for right now. Spooling up some volume there. Buyers aren't getting much progress.
Block buy. So I'm gonna go ahead and disable. Block cell.
And we want to see that continuation again. This is ES's IB low. So low that first 30 minutes. NQ is nowhere near theirs. So you can see just a difference in the strength. That can change in 1 candle. In 2 seconds. That can change in 1 second.
Block cell.
But S&P 500 really wants to stay under this open. Yeah, they stay under that open. That'd be solid for the sellers, who again has been in the dominant control. Just 30-minute candles here. Clean this up a little bit. Notice the big shift with the delta. A lot of these were these buyers that were getting really comfortable in here. All right, got that volume spooling up again. So it look like we're gonna see some more pressure to this downside. All right, I'm gonna break these lows again, it seems.
Sorry about that.
Block cell. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block by. Block by. Block by. Block by.
Block by. Block cell. Block by. Block by. Block cell. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block by. Block by. Block by. Block by. Block cell. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block by. Block by. Block cell. 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 Block by. Block by. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell.
Block by. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell.
Block cell. Block by. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block by. Block by. Block by.